Friends, PLES, principles, not the ALS one. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about here. Your people, yeah, they're dynamic, they're impressive, and you believe in them. That's a principle. Here's the challenge. Your org chart doesn't believe in your people. Take that. Where did that come from? It's not my opinion. It's research that we've done, panel research that we've done across nearly 1,000 teams, and it tells us the same story everywhere. It doesn't matter the sector, K-12 or higher ed. Leaders who genuinely believe in their people are running cabinets at 60% of their actual capacity. I don't know if you heard that correctly. The leaders who believe in their people, they're running cabinets at about 60% of their actual capacity. Not because of bad hiring, because of deployment architecture. And that is the principle that I want to unpack here today. The gap between what your cabinet produces and what it's actually capable, it's not a talent problem. It's a deployment problem. What do you mean by that, Joe? First of all, you're allowed to just feel the thump of that. Right? Every superintendent and president that I work with has some quiet suspicion. You know what? We're not operating at our ceiling, right? And I don't know why. There's something that's just interfering with us right now. And today I'm going to give you 5 questions that will show you exactly where maybe that capacity flew right by you. But before we do that, a little math. Your average cabinet member, let's just say $140,000 a year. And you've got 8 of them around one table. About $1 million, 1.1 on an annual compensation, right? Now, if you care about your people and your cabinet is performing at 60% of their capacity, you're getting about $670,000 in value from $1.1 million in the investment. I don't have to unpack that much further in the demand and profitability framework to let you know that this is serious business. You know, that's nearly a $500,000 gap. That's your deployment problem, wearing a strategic plan. And most leaders do not understand that principle. Right? A superintendent, we'll call her Sandra, told me that she felt more isolated than she did as a first-year principal. She had a brilliant cabinet, but zero collective input. Her CFO, very gifted at systems architecture. It was spending about 60% of her time on compliance work with 2 junior staff that probably could have handled much of that work themselves. Sandra had the right people. Let's get that right. She built the architecture around roles, not around those people and who they actually were and the talents that were just, latent within. So you don't have a talent problem. You have a deployment and an architectural problem. And unlike talent, architecture is completely within your control. So here's 5 questions. And I want you to go ahead and jot this down. First question, if every cabinet member named their single greatest strength, the thing they do better than anybody else at the table, would that match what you're currently asking them to do? I can't think of a more powerful question that you're going to just encounter this week. Every cabinet member, if they named their single greatest strength, does that align with what their HR job description has them doing? If you're not certain what their answers would be, you've got a gap. Question 2, in your last 5 cabinet meetings, who spoke the most? Now that person's just going to jump to mind. And if you can't think of that person, perhaps boss, I'm just saying. But also, who spoke the least? Does that pattern reflect genuine contribution? Or is that embedded in your hierarchy? Silence is never neutral. The ideas you need most are probably sitting right behind the people who stopped offering them. Question number 3, okay? Keep it cooking. When did you last move somebody sideways? Not out, but sideways. Because you discovered they were much more valuable someplace else. Again, not out because they couldn't do the job that you're asking. Sideways. Like, oh my goodness, we have to maximize your magic somewhere else. If never, I think you're running a static architecture in a dynamic institution. Not my opinion. We've got a lot of research to back that up. And question 4, if you removed yourself from the room, what would the quality of your cabinet be thinking? Would it go up? Would it go down? Would it stay the same? For most leaders, it would go down. Not because their cabinet is incapable, because the cabinet has been architected around the leader's presence, not the team's collective intelligence. When the leader leaves the room, everybody catches up on email. Yeah, when the leader is in the room, the leader is the primary thinker. And that's not a badge of honor, boss. That's actually a capacity issue. And the cabinet is a reporting structure. It's not a thinking unit. It should be a thinking unit. Here's the last one. Question 5. What is one thing someone on your cabinet is genuinely better at than you are? And you're deploying that superiority or quietly managing it. Yeah, believing in people is not a sentiment. It's actually a structural act. The org chart proves it, or it doesn't, right? If you don't address the deployment gap, I think you're going to keep getting 60% of the people capable of 100%, right? And the ones that see the gap most clearly start updating their LinkedIn profile. Brilliance doesn't stay where it can't breathe. That is so important to understand. Busyness stays where it can't breathe, but brilliance will find and just slip out the back door. Builders don't wait for permission to build differently, folks. They create the conditions for breakthrough. The question isn't whether you can. The question is whether you will. Right now, pull out your cabinet roster. You know who they are by memory. Right? For each person, write one sentence, the thing they do better than almost anyone else. If you can't write that down, that's where you start. So I want to just inform you of, I make recommendations, you make choices. But one of the best choices for a number of the teams that I'm seeing transcend this average mentality that leads to average performance. The Team Institute, 8 months. So basically a full academic calendar year. Start in the fall, typically, capstone in the spring. Your full cabinet, oftentimes the executive team plus the managers and the directors. Sequential architectural work. What we're seeing from the graduates, 3x performance, because we baseline and we benchmark. We're seeing 29% higher engagement because we baseline and we benchmark. And we're seeing 27% better outcomes, especially this year. This has been a banner year. The Team Institute. You can check it out at higherperformancegroup.com. You can go to solutions, scroll down, you'll see it there. Just scroll down the webpage. You will see we don't have very many solutions, but the things that we do absolutely just spot on. Not better than anybody. I think we're the only ones who do it this way. The other option I'd just throw at you is a virtual coffee. There's water in here right now, but it's the best part of my everyday. If you just want to learn more about some of these principles that I just unpacked, but also maybe just some of the things, I'd love to hear your story and some of the struggles, let you brag a little bit, but also talk directly about some of your challenges. You can message me directly. You know where to find me. No pitch, just a conversation about what you're building and maybe how I can support you getting there or accelerating your team to get there. Just for fun, let's comment below. If I stepped out, my cabinet thinking would be what? One sentence. Your honesty gives other leaders really the permission to face their reality. Hey, build like a champion today, boss.